James?
I was privileged to have had Dr. James as a friend, and he emphasized to me, as he did with anyone else with whom he came in contact, the importance of service to others as we go through this life. I knew Dr. James through many venues. First, of course, through the church, because as you are aware of the fact, he was at one point a dean of the Samuel D. Proctor School of Theology, a pastor, a Christian man, and so it was indeed an honor for me to relate with him in that religious, from a religious perspective.
At the time that he first arrived in Richmond, there was awful segregation. He faced great racism and bigotry, and so he did not expect to stay in Richmond. He thought it would be a short visit, and then his years as a student turned to graduate school, turned to pastoring churches, turned to his many years of work at Virginia Union, and so he became someone who really followed his calling, and someone who was committed to making the world a better place. And I think that guided every decision that he made. What's going to make the world a better place and what's going to allow me to live out my values.
It's a commitment. And to extenuate that, I mean commitment to the theological education of the African American church through its ministers who were trained at the School of Theology at Virginia Union. And his greatest legacy is what he did at Virginia Union. The School of Theology, when I came there in 1968, was not fully accredited. It was an associate member of the Accreditation Association for Theological Schools and Seminaries. And the reason we were associates because we didn't have the library nor the library and the PhDs. And it was my uncle who forged a relationship with Union Theological up on Brook Road, literally less than 10 blocks from Virginia Union, and set up a system where Union could claim their library, and they have one of the best theological libraries, quote unquote, south of the Mason-Dixon, and we could claim some of their PhDs because our PhDs would teach some of their students, and Union Theological is the seminary for Presbyterian churches, Presbyterian USA, and so he is the one that forged the way for Virginia Union School of Theology to be fully accredited, and it is yet fully accredited until this day. A whole lot of work he had to do, but he persevered and he did it. That's what I'm talking about in terms of commitment.
If you had to describe the impact Dr. James had in one word, what would it be?
Positive. He had a very positive impact on many persons, encouraging them to be the very best that they could be. As a result of his belief that everyone has a contribution that they can make to the community, he therefore impacted a number of the lives of a number of young persons, particularly in the area of education and in preparing for the ministry. And so I would say that he exerted a tremendously positive impact on many individuals with whom he was privileged to serve.
A sense of humor in his laughter, and I think that he was someone who had an ability to find the good in other people and find ways to connect. And so I think that legacy certainly has helped me as I think about the work that I try to do as a leader. We're dealing with difficult issues. This is a challenging political and social climate to be working towards inclusive communities. And I often wonder what Dr. James would say if he was watching the news or hearing about what was happening in our society. But I also know that he wouldn't be giving up. I know that he would be engaged, he would be thoughtful, he would have a sense of humility and a sense of humor, and he would make his sphere of influence the best that it could be. So that's something that I certainly try to emulate, and I think something that all of us can.